I will manage your pain and ease your suffering. I will help you and your family face what's coming. I will be with you until the end." Ellen looked at me apologetically as I stepped around the curtain beside her bed. Her breathing was labored, and a series of tubes protruded from her abdomen and chest, a final, fruitless effort to drain the fluid that was filling her body, compressing her organs to the point of failure. Her eyes were tinged yellow with jaundice, and the skin of her sunken cheeks was as colorless as the flat, beige wall behind her bed. Her hair, which she'd always worn in a short, stylish pixie cut, even before chemotherapy made her temporarily bald, was damply matted to her forehead. Ellen's downturn had come just 4 weeks earlier, 6 years after she first walked into my office with a metastatic, incurable breast cancer that had spread to her bones, liver, and lungs. For most of those years, I had prided myself on plotting a course of treatment that allowed her to not just survive, but truly live, working for a nonprofit, mothering 4 teenage girls, and traveling extensively with her husband and family. Every smiling photo from one of Ellen's adventures, standing with her girls at the top of a mountain or laughing with her husband at the base of a waterfall, was a victory for me, too. Her treatment had worked so well, for so long. But today, Ellen's adventures were at an end. The room itself felt like a liminal space, a place where my patient survived from ragged breath to ragged breath, the inevitability of her death weighing heavy in the silences between. I held her hand as she asked questions to which there were no easy answers. What it would feel like as she slipped away. Would she be scared? Would there be pain? When our conversation was finished, she squeezed my hand, and I lingered for a few moments longer, holding space for the unspoken. Finally, I leaned in to hug her goodbye, one last time. I pressed my cheek to hers. I felt the dampness of her skin, the jangle of her fragile bones. I thought about how brave she had been, how wonderful, how alive, and wished I could have given her more time. And then she said it. Not her last words, but the ones I'll never forget. "I'm so sorry for sweating on you." Ellen was not the first patient to say these words to me. As an oncologist specializing in the care of breast cancer, I have sat with thousands of women at the moment of diagnosis with this life-threatening disease. And in those first moments, after I tell a patient she has cancer, no matter who she is, her responses almost invariably follow the same trajectory. Am I going to die? Why did this happen to me? I'm so sorry for sweating. Sweating is, of course, a normal physical response to stress, and nothing causes stress like a visit to the oncologist. No other illness stokes our fears the way that cancer does, and the women I see in my practice every day are invariably frightened of suffering, of dying, of living in remission for years only to have their cancer recur. But the emotion I encounter most in the examination room, more potent and insidious than fear, is shame. The list of things for which patients have apologized to me over the years is both endless and obscene. These women are sorry not just for sweating, but for being sick, for having to seek treatment at all. They blame themselves for missed mammogram appointments, for failing to see their own symptoms, for not accurately diagnosing themselves with cancer amid the mad rush of full-time work, motherhood, caring for elderly parents, running a household. They are even ashamed of the side effects of the treatments and surgeries that allow them to survive. One of my most remarkable patients, a tough, no-nonsense woman of 75 who had raised 13 children and worked all her life on a cattle farm, turned up at her post-surgery follow-up with something I'd never seen before: a flesh-colored adhesive nipple pasted over her mastectomy scar. When I asked her about it, she said she'd ordered it on the internet. For me. "It's so disgusting," she said, referring to the scar. "I didn't want to make you uncomfortable." In all my years of both training and practice in internal medicine and oncology, I cannot recall a male patient ever expressing this sort of shame. As a physician aiming to partner with women in their return to good health, I find this difference baffling. As a student of medical history, I know that the